Get ready, everybody, as the Yamamoto Big Bass Challenge comes back to the California Delta, bringing with it more fun and excitement than ever before. Anglers from all ages and skill levels have a chance at some big fish cash, as all you have to do is catch one big fish, with over 60 big fish checks to be paid over 2 days. The challenge? Only Yamamoto or Konami baits can be used. Sinkos, hula grubs, cut-tail worms, plus an unbelievable variety of outstanding hard baits are at your disposal. So get ready, Western anglers, for the biggest event of the year, the Yamamoto Big Bass Challenge.
Evinrude E-Tech is the only outboard that gives you more of the experiences you want. Like more acceleration and top-end speed, more time on the water with no maintenance for 3 years or 300 hours, more chances to catch more fish, and more fun. The Evinrude E-Tech, it's more, and more than anything else on the water. Experience more with Evinrude.
It's back again, everybody. The Yamamoto Konami Big Bass Challenge comes back to the California Delta out of Russo's Marina. Talk about excitement. 5 checks an hour for 6 hours for 2 days, culminating in $30,000 in cash and prizes. It's going to be exciting. The only challenge, you can only use Konami or Yamamoto baits, but they've got a great selection. And today, we've got 2 of the best pros in the West that's going to show you exactly how to use each of these products on the California Delta.
Oh, donkey, man!
There's one of them nice single fish.
Stay tuned, everybody. We've got a great show for you. The first day, we caught a ton of fish. It was windy out there, but as the day progressed, the fish got bigger and bigger.
Hey, what is this? Come across to me.
Oh, nice. Nice fish. This year's Big Bass event will be held on the same exact weekend as last year's event, with weather, temperatures, and disposition of fish predicted to be similar. So pay attention. This footage that was shot for last year's event is extremely relevant.
Grab that big. Got it.
But as the fish got bigger and bigger, Alan looked at me and said, Vince, tomorrow ought to be a really good big fish day.
Building the ultimate total performance machines. It's a powerful commitment to excellence wrapped in layers of advanced engineering. Experience a take-charge level of leadership with the legendary Ranger Z Comanche and Z100 series. Powered by Evinrude E-Tech's best-in-class high-torque performance, it's clear that real confidence isn't just what you know, it's who you run with. Evinrude E-Tech. Spend more time on the water.
I like to break down the Delta in a couple segments. We have the east side and we have the west side. And usually the west side, the fish turn on a little faster, and the water temperature over there is probably about 4 or 5 degrees warmer. Pre-spawn is the time of the year when females, well, all your bass, but the females are gonna wanna feed and build up their energy so they can move up and spawn. So I think one of their main primary food sources is their crawfish. But they'll come in here and they'll start moving up from the deeper water. They'll move into these flats and they'll just start eating. They don't care, they'll attack anything. The males in secondhand, they will also come up, but they'll come up before those females. They're a little more aggressive, so they're easier to catch. So you might go onto one bank and catch 5 males to 1 female.
Oh. Woo! Nice one, man. Nice one. This is a cat. This is a fish.
Oh, that's a hell of a fish.
You want to grab him for him?
Yeah.
There you go, bro. That's a bass. After Alan caught that fish, I got him to go into detail as to where fish should be this time of year.
You're going to be fishing the spawning flats, usually in water depths of less than maybe 2 feet. Areas, big spawning flats, let me explain to you. You could get a Navionics chip, put it in your unit, and look for these areas where you're talking about areas that are 100 yards offshore and you're only in 3 to 5 feet of water. That's what a big flat is. That's where these fish spawn. They look for areas that extend out from a little deeper water where they can move up. Some areas I've fished, I'll be in 3 to 2 feet of water for probably 300 yards. Those are flats. You can see them on maps, you can see them on chips, but you want to key on those spawning flats.
After talking to Alan, it was obvious that there are hundreds of spawning flats throughout the California Delta. But Alan let us know that there are particular areas that he likes to key on this time of the year.
My best spots are Tule Islands. I love Tule Islands. One of the things when you come down here to the Delta and you go around Tule Island, you're going to find one side of it is deep. So if my boat is up there and I'm fishing 20 feet away from the bank and I'm in 10, 15 feet of water, I'm on the wrong side. I need to go around and fish the side that's the boat when I'm 20 feet out is only in 2 to 3 feet of water. That's a spawning side. So what you do is come down here, every island has that. Deep side and shallow side, so key on that shallow side.
Alan and I the prior day caught tons of small fish, but as he pointed out, small fish will not get you a check in this big bass battle.
I'm going to tell you how to catch the big females. When they move up, those females will be just a little bit behind these males, and what I'm going to do is go up to these flats and I'm going to look for isolated targets. Little clumps of tules, isolated patches of tules. You don't want to fish the big solid walls of tules, you're going to just get a lot of these little males. But if you can pick these little clumps here and there that are 10, 20, 30 feet out from the main tule wall, you're going to get a fish to weigh in the Yamamoto. Yeah. As you see, we're going down the bank here, and I'm going pretty fast because I'm just covering the water. Because see this pennywort? This stuff here is summertime stuff. Pre-spawn, no. I mean, you might get one here and there, but it's not worth fishing. Stick to the shallow tule areas. So when I come to this pennywort, you see me, I'm skimming right through. I might throw a spinner bait or a chatter bait or a swim bait along the edges, but I'll go through it real fast and I'm gonna get to my key points, which are these tules right up here. That's where the big females are.
Alan's big fish predictions were right on point, as right off the bat, this big female took his Texas rig Cinco and ran with it.
This is the one you want to be able to get a check. Fish check. This is what we're talking about.
Can you help me?
Everybody, oh, I got you, man. I got you. Oh.
Hurry up, what are you doing?
I got it. That's what we're talking about.
That might get me a check.
This might be. Oh, wow, she ate that Cinco real good, Alan.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
got it down deep. Well, this might get you maybe third big fish or
Third?
big fish of 5.
Third?
That's it. That's it. Sometimes these guys,
Tell him first.
And trust me guys, Alan's just getting warmed up. Stay tuned, there's more big fish action to come. Guys, the Yamamoto Big Bass Challenge is one of the most fun and exciting events of the season. Bring your wives, bring your kids, bring your friends. Pack the boat, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Everyone from all skill levels, from all ages and sizes will have a good time. We hope we'll see you all there.
Tired of searching through ads to find bass articles in your favorite fishing magazine? Well, we have a solution for that. Introducing Bass Angler Magazine with over 30 articles in every issue, filled with tips and techniques to help you catch more fish. Follow the pros as they publish the most up-to-date seasonal methods to catching bigger bass. Whether you're a beginner or professional angler, make Bass Angler Magazine part of your gear today. Have a smartphone? Download our app and have access to Bass Angler Magazine on and off the water. There is no excuse to become a more successful bass angler, covering topics such as cold water cranking, emergency rod repairs, summertime swim bait fishing, and much, much more. Be a part of the fastest growing bass publication in the nation. Log on to bassanglermag.com with code TV and save 20% when you subscribe now.
Let's get back to some more bass fishing action, but first, Alan breaks down his best bait selections.
Okay, I want to show you guys some of the tackle that I've been using in this Yamamoto Big Bass Challenge. Number one is the Cinco. If I'm fishing for big Cincos down here in Delta, I'm preferably going to probably use a 6 or a 7 inch. Very critical that goes along with this Cinco is make sure that you use a sharp hook that you're not going to be crying because the fish got off. This hook right here is my money maker. Then, crawdad, depending on weather conditions. One day we were out here blowing 40 miles an hour. This is what I was using. I had 3/8 to 1 ounce weight, depending on how much breeze, and I'm flipping a 5-inch crawl. Also, Gamakatsu 5/0 hook. Then I'll go to, when conditions get tough, whether the tide's out, wind's blowing hard, drop shotting. And these are cut tails. They're very deadly bait. Yamamoto's come out with a new one. It's called a D-shad. It's actually a fluke, but they're pre-weighted, so you don't have to stick no nail weights in them. When these fish move up in their spawn in these sparse tulies, driving that fluke through there, that D-shad, you'll catch big fish to weigh in a Yamamoto. Okay, I'm using a 6-inch Cinco Texas style. I like to use it Texas style this time of the year, mainly because I'm fishing heavy cover, tulies. You know, we're keying on these fish in the sparse tulies here. And what I do is I throw it out and let it sit on the bottom. You know, I'm only in like 1 to 3 feet of water. Let it sit on the bottom, count to 10, and I lift it up, maybe move it maybe about 3 or 4 inches, and put it back down, and usually you'll feel weight. A lot of guys will pick it up and they think they got a weed because it gets stuck, but if you would just lower your tip and pick it up slow, you'll actually feel the fish moving and then set the hook. But let it sit. You can't fish these too fast. I got picked up, and what's going to happen is a lot of guys will lift up and put too much pressure on them, and they'll let it go. But I'm holding this, I'm putting a light pressure on the rod. He will not spit this out if he don't feel me. He's still swimming around with it, but most guys, they think they got a weed on it, and they'll keep pulling, and then the fish will drop it.
Okay.
As long as you don't put no pressure on that rod, he will not drop it. So he's on there right now. Watch, I'm going to reel down and just sit, fish on. Look at that.
This is amazing. Okay.
See that?
Okay.
Did you see how long? So you have all the time in the world, but most people will actually get that bite, think it's a weed, and keep tugging, and then they feel it go tunk, tunk. That's the fish spitting it out. Okay, I want to tell you guys something that's really helped me down here in the Delta, especially when you got visibility where you can see down 3 feet. I use 65 braid on my rod and reels, but I use a short piece from here to here. So I got like maybe 2 feet, 18 inches, a 20-pound test fluorocarbon. The reason I do it is not mainly so the fish can't see it, but as you know, braid floats and fluorocarbon sinks. So when I pitch this out, the fluorocarbon keeps a little bit of weight on my Cinco to get it to drop just a tad quicker. Big one. Got him! Oh! No. You got a hog! Don't lose it.
Oh, I'm not. Oh!
Lift up. There you go. Come on, you got him. Oh, you got a pig.
There.
All right, about time.
Woo!
Nice fish.
Whoa. Well, that wasn't the prettiest of
Not as big
hook
as mine,
set.
but he's nice.
It wasn't the prettiest of landing,
You
but
got him good.
Yamamoto Konami baits only.
Come see me.
Alan, I might be in the chair with you on the big bass every hour. Good job. Thanks, brother. For the whole day, Alan emphasized the importance of Delta tides. Let's go to Alan as he breaks down the finer points of fishing the Delta and tide considerations.
Tides down here this time of the year are so crucial. And I've found that, you know, for the last 30 years fishing down here, pre-spawn, high tide. So those fish move up and down as the tide goes up and down. But when that tide is peaked, that's when the time you want to come out here. You guys could go on the Navionics chip, and we're going to show you that there's tide charts on there, and it will actually tell you what time you need to be there. Very simple.
Oh!
Oh, another one.
Yeah. Oh,
Look at
that. Yamamoto Big Bass Challenge, you guys.
Woo! Another Yamamoto Big Bass Challenge fish. That might be seat number 2. Man, I would like to be, you know what, Alan, I'd like to be on a boat with you, man, and we make a deal. You know, whatever you win, we split.
No, 90-10.
And right when I thought the action couldn't get any better, Alan lays into a monster.
Ooh.
It's a hog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, donkey, man.
Look at that. Here we go.
This is a donkey.
Oh, man.
Here we go. Here we go, Vince.
Holy mackerel.
This is a big one.
This is a big one. This is Big Fish Check. Might get you in the Super 12.
This is a Yamamoto. Oh,
this
yeah.
is a hog right here. This is a dog. Oh. Yamamoto Big Bass is coming.
Here he is. Yeah, baby.
Oh.
Now that's going to get me a seat.
That's going to get you a seat in the Super 12.
That's going to get me a seat.
Wow.
That's a toad.
That is a toad. Look at that fish.
Hey, give me my fish.
Well, I'm going to weigh him in for you.
You going to weigh heck?
Rid of
Finally
fish.
got him.
Yamamoto and Konami baits only. 2 days, $75 a day per person. Come on in, we got cash and prizes. 5 Big Fish checks paid each hour for 6 hours for 2 days.
And I will see you there.
See you there. Stay tuned, guys. We're only halfway done. We're going to meet up with Delta Guru, Andy Cuccia, and he's going to show you some tactics for catching big bass in this big bass event.
Since 1989, Robinson Rancheria Resort and Casino has been offering the finest in gaming and entertainment and promises an extraordinary experience with the personal attention you deserve. From their